Hey guys, it's Mike from We Are the Batman here. Just want to let you know we have a new website you guys can go to. Just go to podpage.com/We Are the Batman. That's podpage.com/We Are the Batman. You can get all of our episodes there, get a little more information about us, and most importantly, you can leave us reviews and you can leave us comments and messages, send us questions and episode ideas, and you can even leave us voicemails. All these great tools are on the website. Head over to podpage.com/We Are the Batman. We always love to hear from you guys. Head on over there now and check it out. Everybody, welcome back to We Are the Batman. I'm Mike.
And this is Matthew.
Doing a little something special today because, lo and behold, as we kind of sort of predicted, just a couple weeks after Shazam 2 hit theaters, we've got our first trailer for Blue Beetle coming out later this year, following the Flash reset. I have seen this already. Matthew has not.
Correct.
So we're going to get Matthew's genuine reaction to this, and we're going to share our thoughts on it after the fact. Before we go into that, just to head it up, Matt, how much do you know about Blue Beetle?
The version of Blue Beetle that's in this movie, I know only about him because of his appearance in Young Justice, the season 2, which like the whole season was kind of based not around him per se, but the thing that's on him, the reach.
Yeah.
And then he appeared in a couple episodes of Batman Brave and the Bold. I will be really honest. I don't know if I've ever read a comic with him in it. I had tons of comics of the original Ted Kord Blue Beetle, or the Ted Kord Blue Beetle, because he was in that Justice League International series that I love.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, as far as the comics, nothing. But the books or the cartoons, like he seems cool. He's Mexican, so that's a check mark for me. But I mean, honestly, well, let's get into that. How about you? Have you read any comics with him, or are you just like me with the Young Justice thing?
I've read a few, not a lot, but a few, enough to have a little bit of beneath the surface knowledge. But like you, my biggest exposure to him was in season 2 of Young Justice and Batman Brave and the Bold, which is kind of where a lot of his popularity in the last several years has come from, because like it was good stuff like on those cartoons. He was a cool character, and also from the Injustice 2 video game, he's a big part of it, and he's one of my favorite characters to fight as in Injustice 2. His move set is awesome. So Blue Beetle's cool, man, and we know we're getting a Booster Gold series on HBO Max at some point, so it'll be interesting to see if they cross those guys over at all. But yeah, I've seen this already, and so I don't want to say too much else until you've seen it without giving anything away. So I think we should just watch this thing.
Let's get into it.
Excuse me, Mr. Reyes? You finished scraping the gum off that lounger or what?
Nice.
Right?
Everything right now feels so out of reach.
You always land on your feet, bro. You're Jaime.
They don't get out much. I just want to rap. Jenny?
Guard that with your life, but do not open it. You went in to get us jobs, and all you brought back was a hamburger?
Okay, I don't think it's a burger.
You haven't looked?
What the hell is that?
How did you get it to do that?
I think he likes me.
Jaime.
This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want.
Okay.
Host acquired.
Who said that?
Suit looks so good.
Yeah.
Space.
Re-entry systems ready.
Wait, no. This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want. This ain't what you want. What is going on? I just want to rock.
I pause it.
It's called the Scarab. It's some kind of world-destroying.
Can you
weapon.
pause it?
It's
What's up?
No, I'm just like I'm liking the vibe. Like I don't think DC has done a legit origin movie ever.
It's been
Like,
a bit.
because like Aquaman, he's pretty much already Aquaman. He's just not accepting who he is.
Wonder Woman, I
Batman's
think, was the only
Batman.
one. Wonder Woman was the only like real origin story, kind of backdoor origin story.
I mean,
Well,
Wonder Woman's more
Shazam.
like,
Shazam was an
yeah,
origin story.
maybe. I always forget some of these movies.
I know.
Well, I
um,
mean, more like like Man of Steel. He's already Superman. He just hasn't put on the suit. Wonder Woman. She's pretty much Wonder Woman. She just hasn't left the mascara. Like Shazam, I think is the only one really where you're talking about somebody who had nothing and then suddenly has everything. At least in my opinion.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're
Yeah,
saying.
Man of Steel is him becoming Superman, but he's had his powers. No, this is it looks good. Like, that I'm still super surprised this film's even getting released.
Or remember, this was originally supposed to be an HBO Max, and now it's going to theaters,
Yeah,
which,
so
which says a lot about the confidence they have in it.
yeah, that or whatever place Batgirl was supposed to take in whatever they were doing, I have a feeling this guy's taking that place,
Well,
which is the young character.
Batgirl was also supposed to be HBO Max only. It was going to go straight to HBO Max. So when they canceled it altogether and they moved this one to theaters, it's like they must really think they have something with this one. And we still got a little bit of time left in the trailer. We'll get back to it here in a sec, but like just what I'm seeing already, like hell yeah.
Oh yeah, and the suit does look fantastic. It does. It's that whole being a cosplayer thing. It is that mix of material and 3D printed stuff
Yeah.
that just looks really sharp on camera. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, let's go.
What is going on? I just want to rock.
It's called the Scarab. It's some kind of world-destroying weapon. It's designed to protect its host.
This ain't what you want.
Sometimes it does what you want, and sometimes it doesn't.
Body out of here.
I think I cut a bus in half.
The scarab chose you, but it belongs to me.
That love you feel for your family makes you weak.
I just want to rock. It won't kill my vibe. Standing on money, don't know my side.
The universe has sent you a gift, and you have to figure out what you're gonna do with it.
That's my heart. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Whatever you can imagine, I can create.
Let's party.
Nice choice.
I just want to rock.
Whoa, it's like Batman stuff. Batman's a fascist.
I just want to rock.
Okay.
And I love this here too. Once again, showing you the comics you can go read
Yes.
if you want to get into this the first time. Keep
Okay.
doing that, DC. Keep doing that.
Yes. And Marvel maybe start doing that yourselves.
Marvel start doing it. DC
Yeah.
keep doing it.
That was there's two things I noticed that made me go like, hey, what the number
Uh-huh.
one, the idea that somebody who is Jaime Reyes' age, of course, would make a crazy Beyblade, Keyblade, gigantic sword like
It's
any
totally
anime.
the Buster Sword from Final Fantasy. Like
There you go. Yes. All the anime with the oversized weapons.
Yeah.
Number two, I also like that looked like Ted Kord's Beetle ship.
So in the beginning, he goes to get a job at, it looks like Cord Industries is on the side of the building.
Yes,
Um,
which is
Susan-
comic.
Right.
accurate.
That's the original one. That's the original Blue Beetle is Ted Cord. Susan Sarandon, I forget what her character's first name is, but I think she's playing Ted Kord's either his wife or his sister, because her last name in the credits is Cord. And then that last shot we see in the trailer where they're talking about, oh, it looks like Batman stuff. You can see like the original Ted Kord Blue Beetle suit. So I think they find Ted Kord's bunker from when he was the Blue Beetle, because that's his ship that they're flying.
Yes. That makes sense. I was gonna like, is George Lopez playing his Theo Ted, and he's actually the former Blue Beetle? Because the thing of it
he's
is,
playing his uncle.
yeah. Well, because the thing of it is like, what's it called? Like even though I think the whole idea is that Cord Industry has that bug, and that's what he eventually gets. They don't necessarily design it. And the previous Blue Beetle didn't really use. He was more like a Batman character.
He was friendlier Batman, is what Ted Kord's Blue Beetle was.
Yeah.
He was Batman with people skills.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you see in that last shot, it's the original Blue Beetle suit, and there's some old school computers and some old school tech, and that's why they make that comment of like, oh, it's kind of like Batman stuff. So it looks like we're pulling almost like an Ant-Man, where it's like there already was a Blue Beetle. This is the new Blue Beetle, which is Jaime with the scarab. I doubt we're gonna get super into the alien origins of it. I think that's a little much for a first movie. That's like sequel territory, like a part 2. But man, they I don't know where they got the influx of cash for this movie. They put some money into this movie. The suit design and the nanotech weapon stuff going on looks cool.
Yeah. Yes, it does. It looks very good. But it's also that whole, like, if you really look at this movie, like, if they did everything on location, there's no one big besides Susan Sarandon and I don't know if
Lopez.
George Lopez really commands a big
Not
salary, but
not as much lately, but
yeah. Well, but if you're pumping everything into CGI and you don't have to worry about a lot of other elements.
well, the main dude, and I haven't watched all of Cobra Kai, but I know that he's very popular from Cobra Kai, so I guess he's kind of a big pull. But I mean, we've seen set photos, like candid set photos of the last few months of them shooting on location in the streets. That suit is like almost all practical, except for the obvious stuff. Like
Yes.
they made that suit. It's not like in Green Lantern or Iron Man where Robert Downey Jr. is walking around in a mocap suit and the entire Iron Man suit is fake. Like, no, they made the Blue Beetle suit. The only thing that's fake is the weapons and the wings.
Yeah.
Which is just, it looks like they're doing kind of with his mask, kind of like what they did with Deadpool a little bit, where the mask is a little expressive, because in the cartoons and in the comics, he's got a working mouth. That's harder to do in a live action movie and not look ridiculous. So just having
spend Marvel money like they do with Vision.
Right. So, well, even Vision, he's mostly makeup on his face.
Yeah.
So with this, it's like, let's just make the mask one piece and it just moves with his face. And like, yeah, we get 80 hours dialogue. It's fine. I can't get over it. Like that transformation sequence when it latches onto him and it's taking over his body on the ceiling. Like, whoa, that was cool. That was very cool.
This whole movie looks cool. This is one of those weird ones in my mind where I'm like, Blue Beetle? And that's pre-James Gunn.
Yeah.
Like, where did Blue Beetle come from? And that's where I go, like, what? You have to be it. I mean, and it's an easy thing to tie that into an invasion. It's like almost somebody would have maybe thought that idea if they had done their own phase 1 of the DCFU.
Yeah. Shut up. For those of you who don't know what we're talking about, when we pitched our own phase 1, Matt pitched essentially a Blue Beetle movie, and which I didn't hate. I didn't hate. It was just a little ballsy to do for your first run. But I will say this, because you still haven't seen Shazam 2 yet. This does remind me a lot of everything I liked about Shazam 2, which was we're very much like trying to tell a story here, but we're also not afraid to have fun.
Yeah.
And that's what I like to see. And also something to keep in mind too is this is coming out after The Flash. This comes out in August. So this is the first thing we're going to be getting post reset with The Flash.
Well, and also, like, it's always been the rumor that The Flash is going to be a reboot, a soft reboot anyway.
Years. Yeah, for years.
It's just now they have a legit plan that's what it's going to do. So I have a feeling it was always going to come out after The Flash. So whatever they were doing with The Flash, Blue Beetle is definitely a part of whatever horrible plan or barely laid out plan they have. And James Gunn's like, well, let me make this solid and fix it. And yes, this movie actually is good. Let's release it theatrically.
Well, not only that, but kind of in the same vein as Shazam, Blue Beetle is disconnected enough from everything that you don't have to worry about like how it affects the rest of the DCU. Like it's separate and self-contained enough that you can just tell a story with it, and it doesn't have to worry about anything else.
No, I again, like, this movie was always intended to come out after the Flash reboot, and I think that we just looking now at they solidly know what they're doing with Gunn in control, hopefully. But I think, yeah, I think releasing this theatrically, depending on how much the budget was. I mean, if it was going to be on HBO Max first, I mean, what was the budget for Batgirl? It was sub 1 million or 100 million, right? It was like
I
70, 80.
had to have been. Yeah, it was a fairly low budget movie. It was like it had like a Deadpool 1 budget, I think. Yeah, 90 million.
Yeah. So if this movie is the same and you're hoping it'll do well in the theater, because when did it say the exact release date?
August 18th.
Okay. Yeah. See, that's that ending summer where most things have already come out. So this thing could have legs, especially if it's good.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see. It's I mean, dude, I may talk a lot of crap about the Snyderverse, but ultimately I want the DC universe to work, you know?
Yeah.
And this looks like it could be a lot of fun. And I'm just hoping that, there's a big win. I mean, I don't know how much of a tangent we want to go on, but like, look, the last 3 or 4, 5, 8 comic book movies that have been released for Marvel and DC have all underperformed.
Yeah,
Um,
like well, personal feelings on them aside, like in terms of overall general consensus, box office and critic response, I'm trying to think of one that like people like unapologetically were just like hell yeah. Because I mean, people for the viewers, audiences, and critics really liked Shazam 2. It made no money.
yeah,
Black Adam was kind of a mixed bag in terms of reviews. It didn't break even. But you also look at like Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania had very mixed bag reactions, and I think it barely turned a profit. I think the last comic book movie to genuinely like really nail it, box office and critical response,
this is the Batman.
was the Batman, and that was a little over a year ago.
Yeah, like Wakanda Forever, I think made good money, but it's not universally loved.
Yeah, it made money, and reactions were mostly positive, but they weren't as positive as I think they were hoping for. But it made money.
Because 2022, you have the Batman.
Yep.
You have Wakanda Forever.
Yep.
You have Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. You have Thor: Love and Thunder. Both of those movies, I enjoyed Multiverse of Madness for what it was. I just think it was mistitled. Thor: Love and Thunder.
I liked it. It was fine. It wasn't my favorite. It was fine.
It was fine.
It was kind of everyone's consensus was it's fine.
Yeah. Black Adam, we know.
Yeah.
Like DC Super Pets, I don't know if that made a lot of money. I enjoyed the heck out of that movie.
I still haven't seen it, but everyone I've talked to loved it. I just haven't seen it.
It was good. I mean, it's one of those things where you watch it now, you're like, oh, you're gonna let The Rock be Black Adam.
Oof.
Morbius also came out this last year.
And oh my god, it did come out. Well, we don't talk about Morbius. Everyone just wants to forget about Morbius. That's
yeah.
fine.
And then I'm gonna check 2021 real quick.
2021 you had
Spider-Man: No Way Home, which of course did very, very well. Venom
2,
which I think did good, but
I liked it even less than the first one, and I didn't like the first one. So that's just me.
Yeah, I didn't watch either one of them. The Suicide Squad, which was a multi-release on.
Yeah, see, getting into 2021 is where you're getting into that problem of a lot of mixed releases.
Yeah, Eternals was
the less said about Eternals, the better.
Black Widow, that really was 2021. I thought that.
Yeah.
Wow. Shang-Chi did. It didn't do as well as I think it could have done if it had been released in a non-mixed pandemic thing.
It was also just such an unknown wild card. It was one of those like word of mouth really helped Shang-Chi.
Yeah, because it got greenlit for a sequel relatively fast, and it was damn good.
It was. I got some Shang-Chi vibes from this Blue Beetle trailer.
I was gonna say that the whole like, oh look at he's rich. No, he's not. He's
Yeah,
the
just a little, not like it was ripping it off, but I got a little bit of those Shang-Chi vibes.
that beginning joke. Yeah, I was
That's
gonna
great.
say
Well,
that.
that and wrecking a bus. I'm like, can we stop with? I need to be a bus driver in a comic book world. They don't stand a chance.
Yeah. Let's see. We don't need to go back to 2020 is
Let's not. No, please. There's nothing
horrendous.
good to say. No, 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 no. Because Wonder Woman 84 came out in 2020, and we don't need to go back to that.
Yeah. All right. So
Please.
this year, what do we got? I think like I know people keep talking about the Flash, but I really think Guardians is gonna be the telltale sign of if comic book movies are done. Because that is the
Oh, really?
only because this is what I feel like. Both of those movies, the first one especially, super loved, tons of money. The second one, I think some people I don't think anybody that I'm aware of, nobody hates the second one, but it still made a really good box office. So you're talking
Yeah.
about a third film in a franchise. James Gunn is hot right now.
Mhm.
I think that that's going to be the one in my opinion because it has consistently been successful the other two films.
Mhm.
That's the one I think is going to be the telltale of whether maybe
Plus,
superhero movies,
we had the holiday special, which
which was
was
excellent.
excellent. It was very good. I think Guardians is going to be just fine. I don't think we have anything to worry about. I think just the last 6 months to a year. I think 2022 was just a rough year, and again, it was the first year of truly trying to get back to normal post COVID. Because obviously 2020 everything went to crap. 2021 was a lot of mixed releases and stuff being spread out. And then 2022 was a lot of let's start putting more stuff back in theaters again. So this year has kind of been the first, like pretty much everything has gone exclusively to theaters, at least for the first month or two. So I think it's hard to say whether or not just because the world has been so topsy turvy the last few years, it's really hard to get a true hammer on like what has been the central biggest problem. Because like with in the case of Marvel, while I personally have enjoyed most of what's come out in the last few years, TV and movie wise, I know not everybody has, but I do agree that the biggest problem they've had is for the Marvel Cinematic Universe. There's been a lot of like, okay, cool, yeah, but where are we going with all this? And it seems like we're only just now starting to get to that with Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, Secret Invasion getting ready to come out in a month or two, which seems to be very focused on kind of that, okay, setting up for what's going forward. As far as DC goes, again, Shazam 2, while an unfortunate box office bomb, critically has been pretty well received.
Yeah.
The Flash, from what we've heard from early reactions to like people who have seen like the test screenings and all that of what they have so far, has been almost overwhelmingly positive. And this most recent trailer that we reacted to back at the Super Bowl, that trailer was nuts.
Yeah.
It was nuts. Now you've got this Blue Beetle trailer, which looks like this nice. It's like they learned all the right. DC has had a bad habit of learning the wrong lessons from its movies.
Correct.
This looks like the first time where they've learned the right lessons from their movies. They've learned what people liked about the stuff they've put out so far, and they've put the effort into it. And because it was originally slated to be released as a streaming only movie, I think because we've seen how much care has really gone into a lot of these streaming properties, you look like The Last of Us and the
Yeah.
amount of production design and care that was taken with that. I feel like they handled it a little more delicately, because they were like, it's gotta be good because there's a lower chance of reward on it because it's going to be streaming only. So there was a little more, I guess, independent passion put into it. Now that's going to get released in theaters, it's just going to get an even bigger audience and a bigger chance for a reward. And it looks fun. And
Yeah.
I think people want to get back to just going and having fun at the movies again.
Without problematic actors.
That's the other thing too, is like the Flash has got a problematic lead in it. You know, not as problematic, but people were a little with Zachary Levi going into Shazam 2.
Yeah.
And even Guardians, I will say Guardians, yeah, mean, people don't exactly love Chris Pratt right now, but they love everyone else in the Guardians, so that might be fine.
Yeah, but they don't like Chris Pratt for weird reasons, in my opinion.
But anyway, with Blue Beetle, this is I cannot pronounce the dude's name, but the dude from Miguel from Cobra Kai, who people love. I personally, Cobra Kai is not my jam, but I've tried. It's just not for me. People love this kid. People absolutely love this kid.
Yeah.
He's, and even just looking at him, I'm like, yeah, no, he looks like Jaime.
Yeah.
I get it. And just, man, just this trailer just rocks, dude.
You want to hear something insane?
Yeah.
This movie comes out August 18th.
Yeah. It's like exactly a month after the Flash, or 2 months after the Flash.
Well, I was going to say, like, oh no, okay. The Marvels comes out in November.
Yeah.
We know we have Guardians in May.
Yep.
The Flash is June.
16th.
I forgot. Kraven the Hunter comes out in October.
That's not coming out in October. There's no way that movie's actually coming out in October.
I can't believe it's actually being made.
I've seen nothing for it. I refuse to believe that's happening.
Aquaman is coming out in December.
Yeah, that's Christmas, isn't it?
No, but the new Teenage Ninja Turtles movie is August 4th. So you got 2 weeks between.
Looks good.
Yeah.
That looks really good.
And let's not, dude, people love the TMNT.
People, yeah. Even the worst movie is still pretty watchable.
I don't know if there's a worse movie. They're all great.
That's another podcast.
We're gonna fight.
No, we're gonna fight.
I have the katanas. I'm Leo. I have the katanas.
That's fine. I have Donnie's bow staff. Anyway, Blue Beetle, man. I dug this trailer. I really dug this trailer.
No, this looks. I like it. I'm not. There's nothing in this trailer because I think with Shazam 2, I was like, whatever, because it had baggage for me. But
sure,
with the previous film, but this one, I'm like, no, dude. I like watching this. Hopefully, fingers crossed, this is something I can take my kids to. Like we went and saw. Yeah. I know it's a little off brand, but we went and saw the D&D movie, and I was moderately concerned because Rosalind went with us and she's 5. Man, we all had a ball. There was a couple scenes that scared her because it's dragons and monsters. but it was, we had a ball. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, seeing it a Sunday, or fortunately for us, seeing it a late Sunday, like 6:00 showing, there wasn't a lot of people in the theater. I hope that doesn't mean bad box office for them, but we had a ball, and that's what I like.
D&D is doing well so far at the box office. Number 1 at the box office right now.
Yeah. So that's my thing is like watching this trailer, I'm going, okay, I can take my family to see this. I don't have to worry about finding a babysitter. And if I can just do it like a Sunday night, like I did with D&D, we're going to have a ball. And that's like, it's not the only reason I see a movie, but when it comes to a movie like this, like Shazam, like I was like, no, I'll wait till it hits HBO. This I'll see in the theater. It looks tight.
Yeah. This looks dope. This is good. This is a, let's go Saturday afternoon with everybody. Let's go see this thing, and then we can hang out afterwards and talk about it. Like, this looks like a lot of fun. I'm excited to see it. I did not know Susan Sarandon was going to be in this when I first saw the trailer. She's playing Victoria Cord, who I think is Ted's sister.
Okay,
if I remember correctly. And we know, and Raul Trujillo is playing Carapax, the Indestructible Man, who is from the comics. That's about the breadth of my knowledge. Other than I know that's a character, that's all I can really say about it. There is nothing listed as saying that Ted Cord himself is actually in this. Be interesting to see if that does in fact happen, but weirder things have happened. But yeah, we're into it. This comes out August 18th. We hope you guys are looking forward to it. We're gonna have a busy summer. Is what it's looking like. We're gonna have a busy summer, a busy second half of the year. Man, I never thought I'd be this excited for a Blue Beetle movie, but I am stoked.
I'm stoked for it. And then the other thing I was going to say is this. We did put a poll on the Facebook page, www.facebook.com/group/fanboyjunk with a K.
On Twitter as well, at We Are the Batman.
Yeah. We're about to start doing the live action Batman movies. We need you to go vote and say if we start with 89's Batman with Michael Keaton or 66 Batman with Adam West.
As it stands right now on the Twitter poll, as the time that we are recording this, Batman 89 is in the lead with 80% of the vote.
So but how many votes?
That I don't see. That I didn't see. And we just put the one up on Facebook. So go and vote. We're going to start doing those Last Friday of every month, we're going to break down a different Batman live action movie, starting with either Batman from 66 or Batman from 89, whichever one you guys vote on. Go to the Facebook group or go to the Twitter poll to vote on it. You guys can follow us on Twitter at We Are The Batman. You can follow me on Twitter at Mr. Mike Shea for the time being until I quit Twitter because I got doxxed the other day.
Wait a minute. I have to interrupt you for a second. You can't vote on our poll. You have to let the fans vote on our poll.
You can 1000% vote on our poll. You can vote on the poll too. I put the votes in there to get people started so that when they see there's votes happening,
all right,
they vote.
We have 5 votes, 80% for Batman 66, but I also know that's probably led by Robert Haley, and he hates me and likes to make me watch stuff I don't want to watch.
Oh, so we're split between Facebook and Twitter. That's fantastic.
I just voted. So now we're at 66% Batman 66. Ooh, I should screenshot that. And 34 for Batman 89 with 6.
So we are split on because there's 5 votes. I just looked, there's 5 votes on Twitter. So I'm probably I'm the one vote for 66 on Twitter. Everybody else has voted for Batman 89. So
dude, let's let them decide. Like, what is it?
Decide.
What
decide,
is it?
Everybody decide.
Yeah, decide. But we are 100% going to do the Shadow because he's Batman adjacent.
Don't tempt me because I love that movie. So anyway,
I'm not tempting you. I'm telling you, as co-host of the show, we're covering the Shadow.
Guys, that is going to do it for us here on We Are The Batman. Make sure you go to our website, podpage.com/We Are The Batman. Drop us a message, listen to the show, whatever you want to do. Find the show on Twitter at We Are The Batman. Find me on Twitter at Mr. Mike Shea until I delete Twitter.
And you can find me at on Twitter as Mr. J Ninja. And like I said before, go to the Fanboy Junction page on Facebook. It's www.facebook.com/group/Fanboy Junction with a K.
That is going to do it for us. We'll see you guys again next time on We Are The Batman. Same bat time, same bat podcast channel.
Bye-bye.